she's got the moves. Warming up a little bit. Good morning from the Olympic Peninsula here in Washington. We are at Olympic National Park. Today we're going to do two of the best hikes, which is an obvious combo. We're going to head up to Mount Storm King. Hopefully the clouds clear for us so we can get some views up there. And then we're going to go over to Marymere Falls. We have parked here in the Storm King Ranger Station parking lot for the trailhead. We're going to go under Highway 101. It's a fun under the road tunnel. Should be a spectacular morning here checking out two of the best hikes in Olympic National Park. After a short half-mile hike from the trailhead, we hung a left-hand turn up the Storm King Trail. Immediately, the trail starts climbing. Nice. The trail was wet and muddy, as it had already rained a lot in the last week. Everything is just so wet and so green out here. It's been raining pretty much non-stop since we've come up to Washington. Better bring rain gear if you come out here and some waterproof shoes, as everything's going to be super muddy, especially in the wintertime. We powered uphill in the chilly morning air through the bright green forest, looking forward to getting farther up the trail and above some of the trees so we could hopefully see some of the views of the surrounding peaks and of Lake Crescent. We are up above 2,000 feet, finally getting a few views here on a cloudy, misty morning, working our way up towards the lookout on Storm King. The northern section of the Olympic Peninsula is surrounded by old-growth forests that are such a joy to walk through, as you are surrounded by so much greenery and moss that are hanging off the trees. After another mile, we popped out of the trees and came out to a more rocky ridge. There are ropes placed on several of the steeper sections, which can be really helpful in keeping your balance. Just watch your footing, it's a little slick. Cece and I felt pretty comfortable making our way up, using the ropes occasionally to help us keep our balance. However, we knew that on the way down, we would rely on the ropes more, as it is often harder to come down steeper sections than it is to go up. It's a good climb. Yeah. We pushed our way uphill, as we knew that the lookout was getting closer. We had only seen one other couple who had gone up for sunrise, so we were excited to have one of Washington's most famous lookouts for ourselves. The final ridge is a fun little scramble back to the west. The clouds were now parting ways and the sun was coming out to give us tremendous views of the lake down below. It was an amazing feeling to top out at the Mount Storm King lookout. Woohoo! Yay! Summit of Mount Storm King. It was Cece's first hike in Washington, and we were loving the feeling of having the summit all to ourselves. That's such a cool lookout. Oh, she's got the moves. Too many moves. Oh, I'm liking it. Keep it coming. Warming up a little bit. Such a variety. We were alone for about 10 minutes until suddenly we got some unexpected visitors who came and joined us on the summit. Look at you. Ah, he's pecking me. All of a sudden, Canada jays started swooping down on us and landing all over us. We had never had birds fly in and land on us on a hike like this before, and we were amazed at how friendly and curious they were. The birds landed all over our bodies and even enjoyed perching on top of our heads. This guy's been on my head for like 5 minutes. He's not moving. They landed on our hands, backpacks, even right on our phones and GoPro. They just keep coming. Oh my gosh. Again? Little tail feathers? Come on now, we're getting ready to leave. Here's your buddy, look at him. It's your dancing buddy. And it was time to leave the beautiful views and the persistent jays behind us. We carefully made our way down off the lookout and back down towards the rope section. Coming down the rope section was a bit more difficult than going up. Now we were very glad that the ropes were there to make sure that we didn't lose our footing. While we didn't use the ropes too much on the way up, the way down is definitely a little bit harder, a little bit slicker, and you lose your balance more often, so it's nice to have the ropes. We weaved our way back down the trail to the trail junction for Mount Storm King and took a left-hand turn and started heading out towards Marymere Falls. Marymere Falls makes a lot of sense to combine with Mount Storm King, as it only adds on about 1 more mile to the hike. It's cool. We walked across a couple of bridges and up a few stairs to the viewpoints for Marymere Falls. The easy trail to Marymere Falls is lined by loads of trees and ferns, which are dripping with rain and dew. Woo! Look at that!
Woohoo! We have made it to Marymere Falls. That's cool, huh?
On the way back down from the falls, we couldn't help but stop along the way to admire all the moss, mushrooms, and growth that was surrounding us in this beautiful old-growth forest. Given that this hike is on the northern side of Olympic National Park and right off of Highway 101, it's an easier hike to access if you are coming from the Seattle area. The Mount Storm King Marymere Falls hike is a perfect route to get a great taste of Olympic National Park. Just be prepared for making some new friends on the summit.
Warming up a little bit. She's got the moves.